Hello, this is Cathy Cassidy here again for Sunday Book Club, and today I have a few people to mention before we get very far, but yeah, things are getting a bit more Christmassy around here. I wasn't quite ready to do my Sunday Book Club sitting in front of the Christmas tree, but I have lit a candle on this little reindeer decoration I have, and while I didn't fancy wearing the reindeer antlers myself, I've let the littlest dog on wheels model them for you today. So yeah, I hope all of you are getting into the Christmas spirit a bit as well. So I wanted today to say welcome to a couple of newcomers to the YouTube channel. I don't always get to see who's joined up, but I did notice somebody called My Ghibli has joined, and she is from France and is sending me messages saying how much she loves my books in French. And there will be for you, My Ghibli, and any other French readers who are watching or listening, a short message recorded in French, especially for my lovely French readers. So watch out, I'll put that up on the YouTube channel soon. Also a special hello to somebody called Hannah Coleridge, who has left a number of comments. I'm getting like almost every other day, there's a little notification that Hannah has left a comment on one or other of my YouTube videos. But when I click through to actually see it and to comment or reply, there's nothing there. So there's some sort of a glitch. I don't know whether perhaps Hannah hasn't subscribed. There's some reason why I can't actually see what she's posting. But Hannah, if you want to try and get your messages to me a different way, maybe send in Messenger or something, I will try to answer your questions. But at the moment, I just can't see them. So I promise I'm not trying to ignore you. So welcome to Hannah. You're welcome aboard. I wanted as well to say thanks to Nathini in Sri Lanka. She's 12 years old and obviously a real fan of the books. And she says, I cannot bear that Angel Cake is almost over and will finish before Christmas, but I really hope it will have a happy ending with everything fixed. Well, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but next week is the last, it's the last week. It's got the last 5 chapters of Angel Cake, and you will find out how the story ends. And although things weren't looking too good where we left them on Friday's episode or chapter, let's just hope that things improve a little bit for Anya next week. So yeah, and thanks Nathini for leaving lots and lots of comments and feedback, because it makes me smile a lot to see that somebody's actually taken the trouble to leave a wee comment. It makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself. So I really, really do appreciate that. Thanks a lot. I also wanted to thank Francesca for similar reasons. She always tries to take time to leave a comment. And one of the comments she left this week, I absolutely loved. So I wanted to read it out to you. She says, "This story is really sweet in a good way. Each chapter is almost like a window in an advent calendar, but the calendar is a story instead of a picture, and you get a chapter instead of a drawing or a sweet. It's an awesome idea, and thank you." Well, thank you, Francesca. I love that idea of a book being like an advent calendar, and yeah, it really cheered me up to think that. I love it. So let's have a look. Regarding last week's book club, Stardate pointed out that Chris Riddell, whose book Poems to Save the World I was talking about as being a must for your book buying Christmas list, and Stardate pointed out that actually Chris has 2 other equally lovely poetry anthologies that he has illustrated and edited, and they are Poems to Live Your Life By and Poems to Fall in Love With. So I just thought I would give them a mention. I was aware of them, but yeah, they are both equally stunning and would be just as awesome as Christmas presents. So what else have we got in store? I had also a question from Nathini in Sri Lanka. She had been asking if it was possible to have a Christmas Eve message from me, a Christmas Eve live stream message. And she was also backed up by Stardate, who thought this would be a really good idea. And I know we've been here before where people had asked if I could do something live and answer questions in real time. But the problem, I think, is trying to get a time that would suit everybody. So, you know, I have readers in India and Sri Lanka and Philippines and France and all sorts of everywhere. And to actually try to schedule a live stream for a time when everybody would be able to check in is going to be quite hard. And the other reason is I'm a chicken. I'm really nervous and anxious about doing something live. I think if there were just 4 people there, I'd be like, oh, nobody cares. And I'd be really upset. So I will do a special Christmas edition of Sunday Book Club and put it out on Christmas Eve morning, but it won't be live. It'll be a scheduled video. And all I can do, Nathini, I am listening, and I promise I will try to conquer this fear next year, okay? So it'll go onto my list of Christmas or of New Year resolutions, of things that I want to try to overcome the fear of or whatever. So let's have a go at doing something like that next year. Now, I wanted as well to give a shout out to 2 particular charities that I support wholeheartedly. I actually try to support quite a few charities. There are a few things, a few causes very close to my heart that I do try to support, but 2 in particular are so important to me. I thought they would be worth sharing with you because Christmas, as all of us know, it's the time of giving, and that doesn't just mean giving, it's not just about giving presents to family and friends. It might also be giving your time, your money, your love, your care, your compassion to those in need at this particular time of the year. One of the things another thing that Francesca mentioned on the YouTube comments this week, she said, I've really enjoyed this week's chapters. It's actually really good to show people going through hardships and sadness during the Christmas period, because a fair few do, and it really isn't given much attention, and it's even a little bit taboo to make a thing of it. And I thought that was actually a very wise comment and a true comment. A lot of us do struggle at different points in our lives with the whole celebration fest that is Christmas. And you know, I certainly know that I've had several Christmases that have been extremely painful and hard to get through because of having just lost loved ones. It's, for example, my mum and my dad, in different years, obviously, but they both died just before Christmas, and that was very hard to handle, particularly when they have always been a part of our Christmases. So, you know, it's a time when we think of loved ones, it's a time when we think of those we have lost. And this year, during the pandemic, it's a time when a lot of us are going to be thinking about the people we would love to be with, but maybe this year cannot be with. So, yeah, I thought that Francesca's comment was really good. So it links to me with the idea that we could give to other people who are struggling. And I wanted to just give a shout out to these 2 charities. They are Cribs International. And Cribs International is a charity run by my friend Sally Hyman. I didn't know her at all when I first found out about the charity. But when I wrote my book, Sammy's Silver Lining, I was looking for ways to research the refugee crisis, and also wanted to give a section of the profits from that book to different charities who supported and actually worked with refugees. And somebody told me about Sally's charity, and I got to know her, and she's become a very good friend. So Sally works with young mothers, single mothers sometimes they're married, but they're basically young women who are pregnant or with small babies, making that journey, that refugee journey from wherever it is they've started out from, trying to get to a place of safety. And Sally works with people in Greece on the whole, and in particular in Athens, but in various other camps and refugee areas of that country. And what she will do is try to help those people, help those young women get out of a kind of crowded multi-family tent, or some of them living in containers in all sorts of awful, unsanitary and quite frankly scary conditions, to try to get them housed in a small clean flat where they can look after themselves, where they can stand a fair chance of bringing up those new babies safely. So Sally does incredible work, and her charity is well worth following. And recently, I had a couple of my books, Forever Phoenix, the new book, were in an auction that was aiming to raise money for Cribs International. I'll try and put a link to Cribs in the comment for this YouTube video. And the other charity that I love is It's Good to Give, which is run also by someone I never used to know but now consider a very dear friend, Lynn McNichol. And Lynn works with children fighting cancer and their families, and she tries to support them and help them through that difficult kind of battle that they're facing. And Lynn is the most incredible, selfless, driven, strong, caring and determined woman. And I would say exactly the same about Sally too. They are two so very inspiring human beings. And these two charities are both incredibly good causes. And Lynn has actually, over the period of several years, she has managed to raise money to build a beautiful retreat beside the shores of Loch Venacha for families who have children going through this cancer battle. And it's the most beautiful, stunning and peaceful, gorgeous place. So yeah, Sally and Lynn are two of my heroes in this world, and I love them very much. And I will leave little mentions to their charities in the comment. But yeah, interestingly, this week's Certified Amazing Human Being Award, remember the little badges, very, very beautiful badges from Achy Shaky Art on Etsy. This week's is going to somebody called Rachel, who happens to be the mum of two of my readers who are now grown up. Now, Rachel was bidding for one of my books in the Cribs auction that I mentioned just earlier, and she was pipped at the post. She then did a really, really amazing and surprising thing. She donated her bid anyway to help her rival and to help the charity, which was just one of those real wow moments. It was so kind and so lovely. And Rachel is just, you know, she's that kind of person, I have a feeling. So Rachel, your little badge will be winging its way to you very shortly. And thank you for doing that and being so awesome. So somebody else, and I can't remember, I think a couple of people actually this week have also said they're still, excuse me, very curious to know more about Lily Caldwell. And I did promise I would read you Lily's story, and it's in this little book, which is not, it was never really for sale. It was never in the shops. It was given away free with Ms. Magazine back in the mists of time. But it does have Lily's story in it. And I'm going to read you that on next week's Sunday Book Club. So, yeah, you can look out for that. And it will tell you a little bit more about what makes Lily Caldwell tick. So I had 4 more book recommendations for you. And 2 of them are old books. You would be able to buy them still because we have fantastic websites that can track down secondhand books and who knows, they might still be in print, but one of them is The 12 Days of Christmas by Sophie Wyndham, which is a picture book that I adored and my children adored when my kids were little. And of course, we all know, you know, the famous 12 Days of Christmas, the song, the story, and the rhyme. And these, you know, I am such a sucker for books with little windows and secret lift the flap things. And it even has the music, which is just so cool. So 12 Days of Christmas, and just really, really similar in tone, and something all of you will know. And if I say the name Clement Clarke Moore, I think you will know what I'm going to tell you. And the pictures of this particular edition are by Penny Ives. It's The Night Before Christmas. And oh, how I love this book. This time last year, I had to read it out for a library storytelling event in Liverpool. I think it was out in Bootle. And I loved it, and I really, you know, I brought my own copy along, even though they had a copy in the library. And it also has these beautiful little lift the flaps, which are so cool. I don't think I ever grew up, really. It's a shame, but I just love the story. And then the last two books that I wanted to mention, they're kind of recommendations, but I have to, full disclosure, I have not read these books yet. They're on my reading list, and I'm really hoping, although I'm still working my socks off to try and finish a story before Christmas and get it sent off. Once that has been done, I get to relax and read the books I've been saving up for the Christmas period. Now, one of them is called The Sins of Ali Lawrence. I was lucky enough to go to a book launch, an online Zoom book launch for this book. Yeah, I think it was either the start of last week or the end of the week before, I'm not sure. The Sins of Ali Lawrence is by a lovely author called Philip Cavaney, who I haven't read a lot of his books because he often writes gritty horror, drama, thrillers, you know, and this is the first one that has really piqued my imagination, and I love it. First of all, I really love the 1950s style cover, but it's based on a Scottish legend, the legend of Black Donald, and it's also set against the world of the theatre. All of those things really made me want to read the story, so I cannot wait. And yeah, it's fledgling press if anybody wants to get their hands on a copy for themselves. And the other book that I have been saving patiently for the last few months is this beauty. It's called The Way Past Winter, and it's by Kieran Millward Hargreave. And I have to say, this book sold itself to me purely on the cover. If I don't like the story inside, I'll probably just frame the book and put it on the wall because it looks so gorgeous. But actually, I have a feeling that the story is going to be beautiful and moving as well. So, oh, I have to just show you this. Some books go the extra mile with the design. I have to show you, these are the ends of the pages, look. How cool is that? Little reindeers and leaves and cottages. Oh, I love it. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for listening to Sunday Book Club. I wanted to say thank you to all of you who have been listening over the last few weeks, all of you who've been listening to my chapters of Angel Cake as well, because I really, really do appreciate your support. And if you've not managed to keep up to date with those chapters of Angel Cake, don't forget you can just binge watch or binge listen. I know a few of the followers are actually doing that. I know Ali and Denise and others are doing that kind of binge way of listening, and it helps you really get into the story too. So what can I say? Next week is going to be kind of busy and hectic for all of us in that run up to Christmas, no matter what kind of a Christmas it's going to be. So I wish you calm and peace, and stay safe. really more important than ever now, and keep on smiling because Christmas is almost here. I will see you next week every single day for the last 5 chapters of Angel Cake, and I'll see you again on next weekend for another Sunday Book Club. And until then, stay safe and keep smiling. Till then, bye-bye.